So hey, welcome to another episode of Paul's Asian Adventure. In this episode, I wanted to talk about my yearly expenses here in the Philippines. It was actually a subscriber who asked me about that. So in this episode, that's what I wanted to talk about. Sorry, I need to connect the camera here. And I wanted to talk about how much it's cost me this year, every penny. And the way I've done that is I've downloaded all my bank data, both for my credit card and my ATM card. So those are my two places where I use money. So with that said, now I've taken out money that's not related to living here, like for example, supporting my family member, my mother in Spain. Um, which has also been a considerable cost, but that's I've taken that out, so that's not in there. So basically, all that you see is the money that I spend for living here in the Philippines. Now that includes items I have bought that I use here in the Philippines, like I bought a considerable amount of equipment for my YouTube channel. I've also bought an iPad because I like to read, because my old iPad was, what was it, from 2014, 2015, and basically it was time to buy a new one. So um, with that said, I'll go ahead and show you the statements that I've downloaded, or the bank statements, or the bank data, I mean. So let's see. I gotta just do something real quick here and pull that one up. So with that said, here is the credit card payments. So all this is in US dollars. So here are the monthly credit card payments that I've paid for 12 months, and that amounts to 2,300 and basically $50, call it 2350. And now what is on those credit card payments? There's such things as Netflix. I bought extra storage with Google. I have uh, I bought a rented what do you call it, a US post box, where they actually scan your mail. They can ship your packages to the Philippines. They can send your checks to the bank, and you can check all that online. And that's about $120 for the whole year. I also have a Skype membership where I pay a yearly fee to have a Skype number, which is basically a US number. Nobody really knows it's a Skype number, but if somebody calls me on that number, it calls on my phone as a Skype number. So I have that. So I have Google, Skype, Netflix. Let's see, I have a YouTube where I don't have to watch the advertising, and I also get YouTube music and all that. So that's also in there. And then there is some, um, I bought some stuff with my credit card, some travel stuff. So it's it's it all adds up to the number here, 2350. And on top of that, as you know, or maybe you don't know, but the Philippines is really a cash society, unlike the West. So every month I pull out money from the ATMs to pay for most of my expenses, both my rent, let's see, my electricity, basically everything except what I showed you on my credit card. So like here is $300, that's 15,000 pesos. This is 20,000 pesos. This is 10,000 pesos. Now, the month of February and March were very high expenses for me because I'm living in Cebu City. Mia is living in Dumaguete, so I'm paying double rent. Over there, I'm paying about 400 US dollars with electricity. Here, I'm paying about 450 with electricity, and plus Mia's expenses for food and so on. Her sister is living there, her younger sister. We sometimes joke and call her our daughter. She's living there, so there is expenses related to that also, food and so on. And And of course here I eat out a lot more since no one's making me food here except myself. So I almost eat out daily and I go out for coffee on a daily basis. So my expenses are way up. Plus this month I spent a lot of money on Lazada and Shopee buying stuff basically for my YouTube channel. So these 2 months have added up to, let's see, let's do it real quick here. So 4,000, basically $200. So that's about 210,000 pesos in 2 months. So about 105,000 pesos or $2,100 per month, which is high for me because, as you know, typically I spend about $1,300 to $1,500 a month. As you will see below, it's actually a bit higher because I have not taken into account certain things on my monthly budget. And it's only when I looked at all my statements that I realized I'd missed it by $100 or $200. But anyway, as you can see here, every month I'm taking out money for rent, electricity, food, etc. Like I said, it's a cash society. So with that said, for the 12 months, the number is, from the ATM, I've taken out about $16,550 from the ATM. And on top of the credit card, which was $2,350, I get about $18,900 that I've spent total on sorry, all these pop-ups. 18,900 that I spent for the whole year. Now I divide that into 12. That gives me about $1,575 a month. That includes everything. Okay, that includes my iPad, that includes the YouTube equipment, that includes all the coffee, all the restaurants, electricity, and so on and so on. So that is a true cost for me of living here in the Philippines per month. And I think sometimes, and I've also done that mistake, that when you look at monthly expenses for people, there's some stuff that's not taken into account, not uh, not on purpose, but it's just that they miss it, such as Netflix, HBO, VPNs that you might pay a monthly subscription, all the subscription fees and stuff that comes on your credit card for US bills and so on might not make it on your monthly subscription, monthly expenses. So, but this is truly what it has cost me to live here in the Philippines. So $1,575. That's basically what it's cost. Let me go back here and do this. So with that, I hope you have a better idea of the true cost of living here in the Philippines. Now, remember two things: my lifestyle and my live-in girlfriend. My live-in girlfriend, it's not that she's very expensive, but it costs money because you double the food, you double the restaurants, you double the coffee. So all is doubling. Plus, of course, there are other expenses, medical expenses like dentist, like going to the doctor, um, and so on and so on. So there are certain expenses. So if you're a single guy dating, it is actually probably a lot cheaper than having a living girlfriend if you're just thinking money. But if you're thinking happiness, maybe it's different. So it is. So this is, remember, this is for two people living together and living a pretty nice lifestyle. I mean, we go out to eat basically whenever we want, which is 3-4 times a week, sometimes more. We used, for example, here I go out and drink coffee every day. And when I lived in Dumaguete, it was almost every day I went to drink coffee. Now, because of the lockdown, obviously there hasn't been a lot of travel, right? So with that, the expenses this year is actually pretty much down. I think next year when I do this, you're probably going to see my expenses jump from 1575, call it 1600, probably to $2,000 a month because of travel. and I want to travel this year. So there will be travel, there will be more expenses, but that's fine because that's what I want to do. Um, so yeah, so those were the expenses, and I hope with that said, that gave you a very good idea of what the true expenses of living here in the Philippines. And I've done budget videos before, and I stick to what I say. If you want to come here, have about $1,500 a month in income. Or if you have a lot of savings, if you divide it by the next amount of years you're going to live, it's $1,500 or so. That's that's what you need. And then you need about $25,000 in reserve in case something happens. So with that and total overview of the my expenses and the cost of living and so on, I hope you really enjoyed this video and hope it helps you plan for the future. And maybe in return for my hard work, you can do subscribe, like, comment, and share, as that really helps my channel grow. It's something to do with the YouTube algorithm, as you know. And so, also new to this channel is I've created a membership page. Basically, to join, there's a join button in every video, so you can join, and that's your way of saying thank you for my hard work. And if you enjoy my videos and want to contribute, that's your way of contributing. And to anyone who joins, thank you so much. Now in return, I'll be making exclusive videos for the members, and I'll be having exclusive live casts for the members, and also for the upper levels there will be free consultations as well. So thank you so much for everything so far, and I'll see you on the next video, and take care, and bye bye.